Hey everybody! So today I wanted to talk about Lookie Loos, and it's something that really annoys me, and it's something that I have had to deal with a couple of different sets. So I'll explain the difference between Lookie Loos and Bogies and fans. So, the other day I was working on a popular Showtime TV show, and we were in Long Beach, and there was just a crowd of people that gathered to see what was going on. And these people, like, we had people following us like the whole day, and I was there for like 11 hours, and people were just following us around like the entire time. So my classification of a looky loo is basically like the people who will slow down traffic to look at an accident. They're the people who just are so curious as to what's going on that they don't care how their actions affect the people around them. So some of my experiences with looky loos is they get in the way. Like the other day when I was on that Showtime show, the people who were trying to see what we were doing, they went right up behind the camera guys and were just standing there. Like, that's an appropriate place for them to be. Like, yeah, like, you don't go, like, stand right behind the camera. That's rude, and you're kind of getting in our workspace. So it just makes our day that much longer when, you know, our people have to go over there and tell the looky loos to leave. Like, for me, first of all, okay, so we live in Los Angeles, and no matter where you go, there's something filming everywhere. Like, you can drive anywhere and see signs for a movie set or a TV set. It's no big deal out here. And I understand if you're a tourist and you don't see that every day, okay, but a lot of these people live here, and they still, like, want to stop and see what's going on. And I don't have a problem, like, with being curious. That's fine, even if you are a tourist. But, like, see what you want to see and then move the fuck on. Don't, like, stand there for 11 hours following us from place to place just because you're interested to see what's going on. It's really annoying. And, like, for me, if I see something filming, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I wonder what it is. If I see an actor that I like, or if I see a musician that I like, oh, okay, cool, like, I'll probably snap a picture real quick, but then I move on. I don't just stand there and stalk them all day. It's fucking creepy, and it's really annoying, and half the time these people aren't going to come over to you and say hello or take a picture because we're working. So it's really rude to just stand there and get in our way. And then another thing is they'll ask us questions like, oh, what are you guys filming? Oh, how did you get this job? When are you guys going to be done? Where are you guys going? Like, when is this going to air? I don't know the answer to those questions. And I always know what we're filming, but we're not always allowed to tell people because we want to prevent even more looky loos from coming, and definitely want to prevent the paparazzi because the paparazzi are freaking annoying. Let's see. The people who look too, they're just so, like, they're so inconsiderate. I was working with my car, and my car was actually in the shot. So they told me to park my car in a specific spot, and this lady came out, and she just came at me like a bitch, like, well, why are you parked here? I was like, well, I was told to park here by the production. We're working right now. She's like, well, you should probably move your car. I was like, well, I'm not moving my car until they tell me to, so sorry. And then she's like, well, when are you going to be done? And I was like, I don't know, couldn't tell you. And she's like, gets annoyed with me, but I don't really have any power to do whatever I want. I have to do what people tell me. And then the looky loos will also just, like, with my car, okay, so I was parked in a specific spot later on in the day, and there were like 30 people who came to just see what's going on. And not only did they just come to see what's going on, they also brought wine with them. So they're all standing there drinking wine, and where are they standing? They're surrounding my freaking car. And I don't have, like, a luxury car or anything, but I have a new car, and I like my car. And when we're working with our cars, we normally keep them unlocked with the keys in the car somewhere so that if it needs to be moved, one of the crew can move it if it has to be moved in a hurry. And also, we didn't really have anywhere to go, so I still kept all my stuff in my car. And it was nighttime at this point, and I'm working down on the beach, and I look up there and I can see all these people swarming my car. And so when we had a break, I went and I had to fight my way through the people. I'm like, excuse me, like, this is my car. So then I go and I sit in my car and I'm reading a little bit on my Kindle, and like the people are just, they're still like surrounding my car. Like, they're leaning up against the mirror, they're just standing there, they parked their bikes next to my car, and then I had to get out to go film again, and they're like in my way. So I'm like, excuse me, like, I kind of have to go to work, like, get the fuck out of here. And I asked if I could move my car, but the crew wouldn't let me because we might, they said we might need it later on in the day. So I was like, okay, well, there's like 30 drunk people standing around my car, and all my stuff's in it, and it's unlocked. So they need to move. So they told the people that they couldn't stand around our cars because that's not okay. Like, even if I'm out anywhere, like, I don't just go hang out by someone's car, like a stranger's car. You just don't do that. Like, that's rude. And I don't know, like, I mean, I know they probably had no intentions of, like, stealing anything or, you know, scratching my car, but, like, it just makes people uncomfortable when you're surrounding their shit. Like, if it's not your shit, back the fuck off. Sometimes, this is an even bigger problem, is the Lookie Loos will become what we call bogies. And basically what that means is they'll somehow wander into our shot. So we'll be rolling and these Lookie Loos will just, you know, just walk right on through. Like, you can tell that there's a set. You know, there are cameras, there's lights all around, there are people, background actors walking around and pretending to talk, and you just walk right on through like everything's normal. It's not normal. Like, pay attention to your surroundings. And they'll just like walk through the shot, and then we have to cut and be like, oh, you know, we're filming something, you need to hurry up and pass on through. And then sometimes we'll have to be on bogey patrol, and if we see people coming into the shot, we have to go over there and like talk to them and be like, hey, you know, we're filming right now, can you like wait a second or go around or something, just to try to get them out of the way. And what's really awkward is when the Lookie Loos are taking pictures of us. Like, if you don't know who we are, if you don't recognize my face and I'm not a household name, you should not be taking pictures of me. Like, I don't know you. Do you want me to just stand there and take pictures of you? No, because it's really awkward and it's really creepy, especially when it's someone who just looks creepy. Like, there's this old man and we were filming on his street and I was wearing a dress, and in this shot I had to get out of my car, and I was trying to gracefully get out of my car with my dress on, but he's directly across the street from me and he's taking a picture. Like, okay, that's a little odd and you're kind of fucking creepy. So bogies are a big deal too, and they're really annoying because they're just like, they just don't get it. And what's hard is because when we're not on a studio lot and we're just out on location, like in Los Angeles, like downtown, just in the middle of the city filming, the crew, which I think is a problem, they can't tell the difference between us, who are there to do background acting, and who the bogies are. And so they'll come up to me and be like, hey, are you background? Like, are you with us? I'm like, yeah, I've been here all day. I'm definitely working with you. And like, they just, sometimes they just don't know. And like, some we'll know because we know who the other background people are, but we never want to step out of our bounds and say like, hey, you know, you guys gotta like get out of here, because I would prefer to let the crew handle that, because, you know, on one hand you have to be nice to these people because, you know, you don't want to get a bad name for your show, but on the other hand, if they're just being really stupid, like, I don't do well with stupid people, so I'd rather just let other people handle it before I like seriously insult someone. So one show that I worked on, they actually had badges to tell the difference. They would say like the name of the show, and then I said like background on it, so they at least could keep us straight that way. And I think that's actually a good idea, and that's actually a show that I hate working on, but I will give them props for that idea. So I feel like a lot of other shows should start doing that. And they also had badges for the crew, so it was really easy to distinguish, because it is hard, you know, especially when we're all in normal street clothes. You can't tell sometimes. So the Lookie Loos suck for making it confusing. And then we'll be filming, and there'll be like a crowd of us like doing a scene, and they'll like the Lookie Loos Bogie will just come on up into the scene and like stand next to us, and I'm like, hi, and she's like, oh, you know, what's going on? What are they filming? I'm like, well, actually, I'm part of the production, so you're kind of in the shot right now, and you shouldn't be. And then they just like are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and then they get like embarrassed and they're like walk away. It's like, just because you see a crowd of people, it doesn't mean you have to go to the crowd of people to see what's going on. Like, I don't understand what that is about people. Like it's like people don't think for themselves. They're just sheep, and they see like a flock of people, and they're like, oh, I guess I should be over there because something cool's happening. It's like, no. Like, what if something terrible was happening? Why would you go there? Just walk on by. If you know it doesn't concern you, you haven't heard of it before, just keep on walking, because you probably don't belong there, and it's probably none of your business. So the difference between the Lookie Loos / Bogies and fans are, I classify the Lookie Loos as people who just don't know what's going on and just want to be nosy, and like they have nothing better to do in their lives, so they're just gonna follow us around because they want to live vicariously through us, or whatever the reason may be. Fans are people who catch wind that the show is shooting at a specific location, and they will just show up because they love the show. Alright, I totally understand when fans follow us around. Fans are what makes like the whole entertainment industry survive, and I feel like if I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. I am actually kind of ridiculously obsessed with Doctor Who, and it's actually kind of a problem. But if I found out that they were filming here, and I found out where they were filming, I would be there like at the break of dawn, and I would probably follow them around for 12 hours because like I am obsessed. So I get that. But also, as a fan, like, you have to have respect. I feel like fans respect the actors more than just, like, random people do. Because, first of all, you know who the main actors are, and, like, you know, like, you don't want to bug them. Like, you don't want to creep them out or anything. So, I mean, you pretty much just stay there and, like, you know, take your pictures and, you know, just watch. You're there because you want to watch how everything works, and you want to watch these people that you love. You want to watch them doing their job and doing their art, and you know, see the story. It's basically like when you work on a show that you like, it's basically like watching the show live. So it's like watching an episode like on stage, and it's pretty cool. And I've seen fans like go home and then come back, and they have like pictures of the cast, and then, or they'll go home and they'll come back and they'll have the t-shirt on from the show, and you know, they're just trying to get their own pictures because they're so excited to be there. And sometimes the cast will go over and take pictures, but they are on such a crunch time schedule that it's not always possible. But I've seen a couple actors actually go up and take pictures with the fans, or at least say hi, or, you know, just acknowledge them in some way, which is great because without fans, no one would be working in this industry, so it's important to appreciate the fans. I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye!